morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys. Celtic Warband here, and welcome back to another battle in Thrones of Britannia. In today's battle, we have the mighty Kingdom of West Seaxe under attack. An invasion force of Irish warriors sails for English shores, but luckily West Seaxe learned of the attack and marshaled their armies to meet the Irish on the coast. Will the Irish be able to storm the beaches, or will the English hold and drive the Irish back into the sea? Let's go ahead and find out. Let's begin the army comps by taking a look at the invasion fleet, the Irish invasion fleet, which is very close to landing on the shores of West Seaxe. The first half of this fleet is commanded by myself, and the final half is commanded by Azrian Fox. And we are both playing as Mead. It's one of the only Irish factions playable in the base game. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we have brought. I do have the stats menu open on the left-hand side as well for your reference. So in the front lines, I have 4 units of wood spears, and I wanted to bring some spears to establish that beachhead so that my next unit, the 6 units of current axemen, will be able to just punch a hole through those West Seaxe defenses. And finally, once there are a few holes in their defenses, I will be sending my best units forward. They are the mailed Vienna, and I'm hoping that they will be able to mop up any resistance that is found on the beaches and conquer it for the Irish. I also have 4 units of the Freeman Archers, which will be supporting the land invasion by sea. And my General's Bodyguard is a unit of Erig Swordsmen, a very powerful unit. And that pretty much rounds out my army. Looking at Azrian's army, he brought much of the same. He also has some wood spears here, but he also brought a couple units of Gallo Glass, 2 units of them. And instead of the mailed Vienna, he brought the Vienna Swordsman. It's just the one step down, the tier 2 unit instead of the tier 3. And he's got more wood spears here. He also brought some Kern Axemen and Freeman Archers to the battlefield as well. And his General's Bodyguard is also a unit of Erig Swordsmen. And that rounds out this 5,700 strong Irish invasion fleet. Hopefully it will be enough to crack those West Seaxe defenders, but let's go ahead and take a look at them next. Defending the English shores, we have 2 armies from the Kingdom of West Seaxe. The first army commanded by Joe Onnit, and the second army commanded by Dragon Player. And since Joe Onnit's army is in the front lines, we'll take a look at his army first, and then follow it up with Dragon Player's reservist army. Right in the front lines for Joe, he's got 4 units of the Select Feared Archers. Behind that, he's got a good mix here of heavy infantry. He's got some mailed Thanes, 2 units of them, and 2 units of the mailed Seaxes. And then he does have 1 unit of Seaxe warriors here, kind of just as a supporting unit. And on the flanks, he has a few units of the Thane Spearmen. And I believe that these are his units as well. In the trees, he's got a Feared Spearman unit and a couple units of Earl's Horsemen. And finally, he's got his General's Bodyguard here, which is a Tier 1 Royal Companion. And on either side, we've got 2 units of the Feared Axemen, which are Tier 2. And then looking at Dragon Player's army, a very professional-looking army here. He's got a couple units of Select Militia Spearmen in the front lines, followed closely behind by some Feared Axemen. We also have 2 units of mailed Seaxes here, and 4 units of the Select Feared Archers. And finally, we have a large following of the Thanes, a Tier 1 unit that will be able to plug any gaps late game that the Irish do make in the English defenses. And at the very, very back, we have the Tier 3 Royal Bodyguard, probably the King of West Seaxe himself, here to see the Irish off and drive them back to whence they came. So hopefully you guys do enjoy this battle. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, welcome to the battlefield, and as you can see, we have hundreds of Irish warriors storming at the English shores. I've got all of my wood spears here formed up and ready to go to establish that beachhead that I need to then funnel in my current axemen to try and crack this English defense. You can see that the English are formed up between a couple of rocky outcrops, but I'm not going to charge in just yet. I'm going to form up my Irish warriors here and do a bit of a stare down while I wait for the rest of my warriors to disembark. There we go. Such a cinematic shot there of those wood spears coming off the ships. Now, Joe On It, I believe, is in the forefront of this defense, and he's got some pretty solid units here. A unit of Thane Spearmen, which is only tier 1, but they are very solid spears. And then we have 2 units of a mailed Thane unit and a mailed Seaxe unit over here as well, ready to hold. Gonna put my units of wood spears into a shield castle while we wait for the Kern Axemen to arrive. But over here, I have disembarked another 500 odd warriors on the left-hand side to stress the English defenses. You can see that some of them are not well prepared for this attack, and I will be able to charge my mailed Seaxes into the side of this tier 3 English unit. They're going to try and move to block the opening here where their archers would have been undefended, but I am just ready to form up and charge in to this English unit and then flank around with a unit of my mailed Vienna. And here they come. Yes, so we have outflanked an English unit here on the battlefield, but this is good news in an otherwise very bad news bears situation. This flank was totally unprepared for, as far as I am concerned, I should say. The English were well prepared for anything that landed over here, and I was not prepared for the amount of English troops that I would see funneled out of those trees and getting ready to flank around my best units on the battlefield. Again, these are my mailed Vienna that I have landed here. Tier 3 units, I've got, I think, all 5 of them here? Yes, all 5 of my Tier 3 units. And you can see I'm already withdrawing 2 of my mailed Vienna units to try and hold a tighter choke point. But this unit of mailed Vienna, unfortunately, will be surrounded. It is very sad to see these brave Irish warriors slaughtered by the English. But such a terrible error on my part to actually land all of my units without any backup whatsoever. Because at this point, I am pretty well outnumbered. If you see, I've got my 5 units of mailed Vienna here. I am trying to do some fancy maneuvers, moving them over here to maybe go after their archers, but the English are always 1 step ahead. I've got 5 units here, and they have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10 units, and that would be 14 if we counted the archers, so hopelessly outnumbered. Thankfully, I do have some units over here that are providing some covery fire, and I am trying to put 2 more units of Kern Axemen onto these beaches. We did manage to break that tier 3 unit of mailed Thanes as well, but they have mailed Seaxes that have pushed in to plug the gap, and we are being stressed pretty heavily on this left-hand flank with some more mailed Seaxes. Let's run over here and see how things are going in the center, where I am finally pushing through with sheer numbers, essentially. I know that my Irish warriors 1 for 1 would probably not defeat the heavily armored West Seaxe troops, but I'm hoping with the help of my Kern Axemen, we will be able to push through. Over here on this right-hand side, we do have Azrian Fox, who has finally landed with some of his troops. And they are forming their beachhead here. I believe that this is some of his Kern Axemen that have landed, and some Vienna swordsmen. But at this point, I've pretty much committed all of my army. You can see that I've got my 4 units of archers and my general still on ships. The rest have been committed to the battle, but Azrian is still quite healthy. His numbers are quite healthy at this point. Balance of power is still looking pretty good for us, but we did start with over a 700-man advantage, and it is quickly reducing. We've lost about 500 men. They've lost... Well, actually, it's relatively even at the moment. There we go. Some Seaxe warriors trying to hold that gap, but the reinforcing Karen warriors coming just in time to aid us. And there we go. Again, just getting some sort of control over this battle line. But again, the English, I don't know if this is Dragon Player or if this is Joe On It, but really on it with the redeployment of the forces of West Seaxe. Again, I could have been able to flank around another tier 3 unit there, but unfortunately, looks like these units, the feared Axemen, were there just in time to hold off my Karen Axemen. And unfortunately, that desperate rescue attempt that I made with this Karen Axemen unit to save this poor unit of mailed Vienna was completely in vain. And very, very few of them, it looks like, are actually getting out of there alive. In fact, I'd wager that that entire unit of 160 men was slaughtered. Oh, is this guy gonna get away? Oh my goodness, we actually have one from this unit escaping. Yes, literally one man from that 160 man unit. He is going to have some stories to tell his grandchildren. My goodness, but again, just being spread so thin over here, there's really not much else I can do. My poor Karen Axemen are not the quality troops that would be able to fight on 3 flanks. So as soon as the English do attack their flank just like this, we will probably see them breaking. And this is pretty bad news. Over here, I'm also still not having much luck getting through these English defenses, but that is no matter because we have one of the famed Gallo Glass units landing in the center. Hopefully they will be able to destroy the English and push through on this flank. But everything over here, quite passive. Very, very quiet. It doesn't look like either player is eager to attack, which kind of just leaves me to be slaughtered, basically. But hopefully Azrian will be able to turn the tide once I've done as much damage to the English as possible. But this Wood Spear Karen Axeman combo is just not enough to fracture the English lines. Oh, but here we go. I do want to see this. See the Gallo Glass charging in here. Heavy hitters, these guys. And this unit of mailed Seaxes is looking pretty thin already. Come on, come on. Push through, men. Looks like my wood spears have broken, leaving only the Gallo Glass there. How are we looking on other areas of the battlefield? I haven't actually given you a complete zoom out yet, but this is what the state of the battlefield looks like currently, and I don't know if the cavalry has been activated yet. Where is the cavalry? Here we go. It's actually over here, the 2 units of Earl's Horsemen. Azrian Fox has formed up. He's got two lines here, and it looks like he might actually try and land some units over to this side, so we'll keep an eye on those Earl Horsemen very closely. But yes, the Gallo Glass actually charging in there. Let's get a slow motion charge of the Gallo Glass moving in against the Feared Axemen. And there we go, just chopping this unit to pieces. And this is the break that we needed. This is the open where we could send some troops over. The problem is that we are all landing by sea, so the English have so long to plug this gap, because by the time Azrian gets 2 units over here landed, that gap will no longer be there. But thankfully the Gallo Glass are really racking up their kills on the man count. But over here, yeah, it's looking like desperate times. My 2 units of archers have used up their ammunition, so I have landed them. We've got a unit of Gallo Glass over here that Azrian has landed to try and regain control of this formation, but they are just being shredded by those archers. Oh, this is terrible. This very expensive and crucial unit is just being annihilated by the archers, and Azrian is just going to charge them into the Feared Axemen. But that has left their flank completely open to attack from those archers. They are still cutting down the English, though. Oh, but they're not going to last very long. Their missile block really isn't that good. They don't have a shield as well, so that really hampers their defense. Oh, this is brutal. I can't watch what's happening over here. But it looks like we've got some of the cavalry redeploying over to the center. That's because we have really caused some big problems here for the English, and there's not really any troops over in the center. They've mostly redeployed them to the flanks. So this is starting to look pretty good for us, if I do say so myself. We've got some Kern Axemen over here that have pushed through, and it looks like Joe's general is engaged in melee against those Gallo Glass now. And I don't know which one his general would be. He probably would be near the flag bearer, but the flag bearer, as it looks, has been killed. And it looks like Joe is going to pull back his royal companions. That is probably a pretty good call. And Azrian also going to disengage those Galloglass because we actually have the Earl's Horsemen coming in. And it looks like they are going to actually get a charge off on those Galloglass. Albeit they got a pretty devastating charge on the backs of their own warriors there. Come on, Galloglass, you can hold. Cut down this English cavalry as they try and retreat. There you go, there you go. Starting to thin the ranks as they do try and escape. And now we're just going to try and form up. Now that this cavalry is here, there's no way that we're going to be able to push forwards. For if we do, we are just going to get run down. And again, it's just going to be the exact same situation that happened over here on this left-hand flank. Again, my brave unit over here, my brave unit of Mailed Vienna, finally breaking with 222 kills. And that pretty much ends all resistance on this left flank. We're just going to focus mostly on the center and the right. And it looks like we're actually slowly starting to see some movement over on this flank. But I'm happy that he hasn't attacked right away because that has allowed us to focus on some other areas of the battlefield. And now this is my general versus Joe Onnit's general. I've got the Erig Swordsman here against the, what is this, the Companions? The Royal Companions, yes. And we also have some more reinforcements pushing in, but I also have the help of the Galloglass. And that actually could be his general right there. Thought, yes, this one right here with the red and white shield and the ornate helmet. Yes, that could be his general indeed. As for my general, I'm not sure which one he would be. But again, man, those archers just causing so much trouble for me. The Galloglass over here starting to waver, and now it looks like my general is actually going to be surrounded by Mailed Thanes, Feared Axemen, and Thane Spearmen as Azrian's troops break from the battlefield. It just leaves my general all alone. However, we've got a lot of Fianna swordsmen and wood spears landing here, so my general just has to hold for a little while longer. We also have the redeployment of many of the English warriors from this left-hand flank over to the right-hand flank, because that is probably where the next leg of the battle will be. And will the English be the ones who actually charge in here against the Irish shield castle? Or are they just tightening their ranks? It may be that they are just tightening their ranks. Raining down arrows upon this defensive formation. How is my poor general doing? He is surrounded, but we've got some help coming in here. We've got some of the wood spears and mailed swordsmen, or sorry, the Fianna swordsmen coming in. And it looks like Joe is going to disengage his general. My general down to 98, but he has 90 kills. And his general down to 78 with 90 kills. Very, very even. This unit of Thane Spearmen over here trying to break my Freeman archers that were coming to save my general's bodyguard. But here we go, a good charge onto the backs of this undefended unit of English. And my general, again, still holding strong. Over here, though, just so passive. No one wants to actually make the first move. We got some Kern Axemen actually moving in. Is this Azrian pushing in his units? No, he's just going to line them up very, very close to the English lines. Oh, no, there we go. There we go. That is the charge. And we have some more units getting ready to charge in as well. Here we go. Well done. Well done. So finally on the right-hand side, we do have some engagement. 11 minutes left in the battle. We'll zoom out and take stock of what is happening. So now I think that the English realize that we're not going to commit any more troops to this left-hand flank. So the three theaters of war quickly becomes 2 theaters of war. And we are so depleted in the center here. I'm unloading my last unit of Freeman archers that have used up their ammo, and we're going to just tighten these ranks and play it defensively on this flank, and it looks like Azrian's going to be more aggressive on this flank, so we can actually zoom in and watch some of his fighting here. Let's try and get a good angle on that. But will it be enough? The English are still pretty healthy in their numbers. If we actually take a look at the numbers, I believe 5,700 we started with. So we had a 730 men advantage, and we actually have 200 men less than the English do. So this is not looking good at all. More of the Kern Axemen moving in there. It looks like over here we've just got a stare down between the the select militia spearmen and the Vienna swordsmen. Is there like a unit like fighting over here though? Like who's fighting what? Oh yeah, it looks like a couple of stray warriors, Irish warriors there being cut down to size. And now it's almost calm. It's too calm. And look at this, we've got the Earl's horsemen just hungrily looking for an opening, a weak point. And I think he sees that here with my 2 units of Freeman archers with my Eric swordsman general just behind. And I think that's exactly where he is going. Over here we've got the other unit of Earl's horsemen just kind of sitting, waiting for another opening to move in. But that is exactly where he is going. I'm going to push my Eric swordsman general in and get him into a shield castle just to deter that cavalry from coming in. I love the optimism of these Irish warriors, though. They are still ready for battle, even though, what, 2/3 of their force, well, almost 2/3 of their force have been destroyed. But yes, most of the fighting still very fierce over here as Azrian sends in his last available units to try and break through. Ooh, yes. Some of the Irish warriors being slaughtered there. Unfortunately, not as heavily armored as the English. Oh, and it looks like as soon as I turned away, we did have a charge from the Earl's horsemen, starting to break my Freeman archers. But I think he lost quite a few cavalry trying to pull out there. You can see a couple of the English cavalry units struggling there. And it looks like Azrian is going to tighten it even further. He's got his wood spears and 2 units of Vienna swordsmen there. And he kind of left me out in the open, so I quickly withdrew my general into his lines. Over here, how are the English looking? Okay, so the speared axemen are shaken. This unit is shaken. It's actually wavering. And this unit is doing okay, except Azrian's got excellent positioning here with his Freeman archers firing into the flanks of this Thanes unit. So it's looking like the English are not doing too well over here on this left-hand flank. I think the Irish are cutting them down to size. Select militia spearmen here, though, 125 remaining. We've got some current axemen wavering over here from Azrian, fighting against this unit of Thanes. But is this where all the warriors push forwards? It looks like it is. They are all done waiting, and we have a massive host of warriors from, I believe this is Joe Onnet, pushing in on the Irish lines, the depleted Irish lines. Let's get a shot of that as the units charge in. Cavalry running across the landscape in the distance. And there we go. Hold, brave Irishmen, hold! There's nowhere for you to retreat to. The boats dropped you off and then just sailed away into the sunset. So you will either prevail here on this battlefield or you will die. And there we go. So I think almost all of our units, both for the attackers and defenders, have been committed at this point. And balance of power is starting to look extremely even now. We're down to 1,900 men. They have 2,300 men. But over here in the center, it's looking pretty dicey. Earl's horsemen charging in, but then losing a lot of men as they pull out of that engagement. We've got the feared axemen broken from the battlefield. Over here as well, we've got some more feared axemen broken. Thanes will be following close behind there, and I think that the archers have mostly used up their ammunition at this point. We've got Joannet's general here with 78 men remaining, and we also have Dragon Player's Royal Bodyguard, which hasn't even seen battle yet. Very, very desperate times. Look at this Vienna swordsman holding back hundreds of English warriors here. A thin line, only 4 ranks deep, and they are doing their best to hold. Pretty much their backs are to the ocean at this point. Come on, brave warriors, hold! Over there, looks like we do have some wood spears committed. And yes, we do have the general from Joannet moving back in against my Eric swordsman. They are down to 51 men. He has 78, so he is a lot more healthy than my general. However, his general is a tier 1 unit, and mine is a tier 3. But there we go, charging on in, allowing the wood spears to take most of that charge. My general is more to the back. And hopefully my Eric swordsman will be able to kill the English general here. Look at this beautiful battle line, though. So beautiful. And where has that other cavalry unit gone? Has it committed? No, it is still right here with 46 men. Okay, this is looking a little dire, actually. We had some wood spears that broke from the battlefield. We have some Thanes trying to flank around, but they break immediately under the arrow fire from Asrian's Freeman archers. So well done there, controlling that flank. You do not want all these wood spears to be flanked. Looks like the feared axemen, though, actually just getting right around those wood spears to hit the unit in a melee here. Looks like that counter charge from that wood spears, though, did break those feared axemen. So again, still very even. However, we've got some Earl's horsemen over here that have moved in. Let's go ahead and see what they can get up to. And there we go. I believe that that is Joannet's general slaughtered on the battlefield. Cavalry is retreating. Yeah, they don't want to come up against all of those archers. But yes, we did have the general killed over here. Now we've got some of the cavalry from West Seaxe charging in, but unfortunately they did charge into the backs of this unit of mailed Seaxes, and that has started them wavering. With 3 minutes left, balance of power is very close. Again, only 200 men advantage for the Kingdom of West Seaxe, and all of these units have broken. We pretty much just have the cavalry remaining. So over here, it actually looks like we may prevail. However, Dragon Player here is just so numerous. And look at this, here we go. One of the units of Freeman archers moving in, and the cavalry was able to charge in. I'm sure that they have used up their ammunition, otherwise Asrian wouldn't have landed them. These poor Irish archers having to go toe-to-toe with the Earls of West Seaxe. And yes, does that mean that he has used up his ammunition? He might have ammunition on 2 more, but here we go. We're starting to actually outflank all of these units here. My general bravely trying to stop the Earl's horsemen, but they just will not slow down. And again, charge right in there, trying to save this huge body of warriors from breaking from the battlefield. However, the morale with their general being gone, they are not too keen to stay around and continue fighting. And there you go, you can see some of the English warriors breaking. The Earl's horsemen have disengaged. And yes, there we go, that is one of the nails in the coffin there, with Asrian's general being slain on the battlefield. I believe he was fighting the Royal Bodyguard. Vienna swordsmen and Freeman archers breaking. And yes, there's my general, who has fallen, unfortunately being run down by the Earl's horsemen there. So close, it almost looked like we were going to turn the tide. But look at the numbers now, down to under 500 men for us and down under 1,000 for West Seaxe. So we're getting close to 10,000 men being slaughtered on this battlefield. Again, charging into the backs of the Thanes. Not very good. And these Vienna swordsmen going to hold in the face of their general who had broken. Look at them, 103 and 120 kills. But over here, everything has just completely fractured. However, we do have some Vienna swordsmen just cutting down this royal bodyguard. Another unit of Vienna swordsmen over here fighting these Thanes. 33 seconds left in the battle. Over here, we've got some of the Freeman archers also fighting the Earl's horsemen. There is just fighting absolutely everywhere on this battlefield now. And we've got some Freeman archers landing over here as well. I think that is the last unit that has used up its ammunition, and they are just being slaughtered as they come off the ships. But look at the balance of power. I'm gonna end the battle over here as the units begin to break. But if you saw that, there was about 200 men remaining on the battlefield. Such a close battle indeed. So let's go ahead and take a look at the end results. Alright guys, here are the end results. So Aesir and I actually deploying the same amount of warriors, and Joe on it and Dragon Player deploying very close to the same as well. Now I'm surprised I actually got this many kills. I thought it would have been way less considering that I threw most of my mailed Vienna away, but I have to say that even under all of that pressure on the left-hand flank, 3 of them managing to get over 100 kills, which is pretty solid. My general there getting 300. My current axeman really not serving me very well, though, unfortunately. Fighting against those heavily armored English, we just really didn't do the damage I was looking for. If we look at Aesir and Fox, though, yeah, so pretty similar army comps, I would say, but seems like his current axeman doing a little bit better than mine. Also, his Vienna swordsman doing really, really well. His general also 118 kills. This Galloglass unit that tried to support me on the left flank just got obliterated, but this one in the center got 225 kills, which is very good. Looking at Dragon Player here, his spears doing solidly, his swords, his axes, pretty much all of his units getting over 100 kills, so he did very, very well. And pretty much same with Joe. Look at the kills here. On his cavalry, 213, 128, 140 with his general. Yeah, crazy kills with his Tier 1 Seaxe warriors, I believe that's what these are, doing really well. And this unit here, 354 kills. So we had the extra men, we definitely did, but I think that I was the one who let us down. If I hadn't committed all of my best units on that left-hand flank, it may have been a different story. But thanks so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this in the future, and I will see you in the next one.